Hello everybody, I would like to welcome you at the page of Shikhavati International Academy Seeker. Today we are going to recontinue the chapter of class 12th, The Lost Spring, the third part of the chapter. So here in the first part, we have come across by a character whose name is Sahibe Alam, and we are so sorry to hear his story, how poor conditions, how critical conditions he and his family are surviving in this harsh conditions, where they have to find out each and every single penny by collecting the garbage. And so this is not the condition of this particular person, but also he has, as we know, that there is one army of those children who are deprived and who are under privileged, and they are forcing into this business to find out the garbage by their parents, by the community, by these conditions, as well as what we can see. But now here in this third part, we are going to start about a new person whose name is Mukesh, and we will also cover the third character of this story, the who is Savita. So here, what as he there is also Mukesh, who is also from poor background. He also enforced to live in the slums area, where he has a very small house, and there are many 4 or 5 members in his house, and they live in very so adjusting that themselves to live in a small part of portions, as a quarter, as a house. So also the same condition of Suvita as well. So here, I want to drive a car. Mukesh insisted on being his own master. I will be a motor mechanic, he announces. There is a one motto behind it, why he is saying that I want to be a motor mechanic, that what type of his desire, as from, like, he is a kind of a person who is from the background of very who is known as or under poverty, and we can say also that he is a BPL kind of person, but he is having a such type of desire. We will come to know why such type of thoughts comes in his mind. So this is his desire to be a motor mechanic, whose Mukesh insists on being his own master, that he is trying to like he this is his desire. Insist means the desire. Do you know anything about cars? I asked the writer, Jung, Mrs. Jung, who asked about that. Do you know anything about industries of car, or do you know how to drive a car? I'll learn to drive a car, he answered. So his answer was that one day I'll learn. Right now I don't know anything about the mechanical things or the driving way of how to drive it, but once in a while I'll learn it, he answered, looking straight into my eyes. His dreams look like a mirage amidst the dust of streets that fills his own Firozabad. Now, my dear students, what is mirage? Mirage is a nothing, but something is there. You have seen, in especially in the time of summer, when there is a very sunny day, when there is a very hot day, such type of illusions we see on the roads, on the deserted area. Actually, it is a kind of it is kind of a shade. It is kind of a shade of something which is made by the wind. You have seen on the roads a kind of a blow of air runs. So we see by far that there is something, but when we come across it, or when we close to it, it is nothing but a form of air. That is called that is called mirage, which is a just dust of seeds that fill his town Firozabad. So Mukesh is from Firozabad, as Sahib Alam was from Simapuri, the border area of Delhi, famous for its bangles. So Firozabad is famous for its bangles. Every other family in Firozabad is engaged in making bangles. So here, each and every family in Firozabad are associated with the business of making bangles. Bangles, you know that especially it is a kind of ornaments for the ladies or girls, females. Every other family in Firozabad is engaged in the making bangles. It is the center of India's glass blowing industry, where families have spent a generation working around furnace. So here, what is mean of furnace? Furnace is a kind of a place of fire, where a kind of fire always light, always on working, where this fire is used to melt the glass. This fire is useful to melt the glass, and by melting it, they give a shape of any glass in a form of bangle. So it is said that in those people who are living in Firozabad, especially in the business of uh, making bangle, they have spent generation of generation while making this kind of things, making this type of stuffs of glass. So it is the main center or the hub in India of making bangles. Welding glass, what type of work they have been doing since a long period of time? Welding glass, making bangles for all the women in the land, it seems. So whatever the land, the piece of land in which the Firozabad is situated, they start making, they just build the bangle, they welding the bangles glass. Mukesh's family is among them. None of them know that it is illegal for children like him to work in the glass furnace with high temperature. And uh, the writer is saying that none of them know that, along with Mukesh, as well as his whole family person, as well as his whole community member, they do not know that the children who are in this business, who are indulged in this business, making of bangles in this high temperature, because they have to work just beside the furnace, and the temperature of the furnace is so high, and it is very very harmful for the skin, for the body, for the small childrens like Mukesh. In dingy cells, dark cell. Dingy, my dear students, dark, pale. Cells means the slums, without air and light. Especially in their house, a special type of room is constructed where a fireplace is there, and the smoke not only runs outside but also spread everywhere in the house. And this room is so dark because there is a lack of light, electricity is not there. In especially slums area, such type of facilities are not provided because these slums are considered as illegal, so the government is not providing such type of things. So in slums that were so dingy and seems like a cells, my dear students, the use of cells generally used in terms of saying the prisons lives in cells. So here these people who are enforced, this is their compulsion to live in such type of cells, which for them is a kind of a house. But if we see, as we see our basic things, as we are living in a very lightning room, full of prosperity, with full of love, with full of care, with full of little bit luxurious, but these people are deprived from all the facilities which we are having. We are so fortunate. Now these cells were without air and light. That the law, this is the law, if enforced, could get him and all those 20,000 children out of the hot furnace where they slog their daylight hours. Slog means waste. Now, here, almost 20,000 uh, children, along with Mukesh, they have been working in such type of near the such type of furnace in Firozabad. And if a such type of law practice is made according to constitution right of children's, that they cannot work, they cannot do a work of labor as a laborer in any kind of factory, industries, hotel, streets, somewhere, anywhere else in this country, that they are not allowed. It is a right for them to get proper education from 6 to 14. You know very well, students, it is the age that they can get a free education from the policies which is made by the government. Also, there are many policies for the students, for the children who are not getting proper education. Such type of policies are making like a midday meal, Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan, and even some governments are giving laptops as well as cycles to attract the student attention towards the study. So due to some reasons, they can come in the school and they can get some education. They can be successful in their life by receiving some such fruitful innocent educations. So if the writer is saying that if such type of law practice is made by the government, so almost 20,000 children can take away from this brutal conditions, from this brutal hell. It is a kind of a hell for them. Why I'm saying, if we take it our own selves, that if there is a cut of electricity in especially summertime, we can't live in room because we feel so hot. And how you can imagine how they are living in such critical conditions where there is no light, no air passing inside, no ventilations were there in their houses, in their cells, and just how hot temperature you could imagine, my dear students. Often losing the brightness of their eyes and furnace that they slog their daylight hours. Now here, lose their slog, my dear, lost their daylight hours. Like where in the daylight, when now at the outside the sun is shining, everywhere is so lightning, but in they have to be outside, but what they are inside their house in a dark place in near the furnace. So it means that this business, this art, this field of earning money has taken their daylight from their life, often losing the brightness of their eyes. Also, working near the furnace are so harmful for these people who are doing any type of work, whether he is a iron man, whether he is a bangle maker, who works near the, especially bakery people who are working so close to the fire. It is very harmful. But these are, to some extent, it's okay. But you know, while burning the glass, sometimes such chemicals also, the smoke of chemicals, which is so poisonful for the eyes, as there is no precautions are taken before working, and no glasses are made, so nothing protection is there, nothing security is there while doing such type of business. So sometimes it is very harmful for the eyes, and it happens many times that the children lost their eyes, the sight of their eyes. Now Mukesh eyes beam as volunteers. So his eyes were beaming means shining as a volunteers to take me home. So now he had taken me his home, which he proudly says being rebuilt. Now he is proudly saying that his house is going to be rebuilt or reconstruct. We walk down stinking lanes choked with garbage. Stinking means too much smell, the very bad smells. Lanes means small paths, small streets. So they went through by stinky lanes choked with garbage, and all the streets were packed with the garbage. Too much garbage was spreading everywhere on the streets. It's very hard to walk, either the stink of smell, and even there is no garbage, there is no any drainage system, there is no any system of sewer. So everywhere the whole area is stinking. Past homes that remains holes with crumbling walls. Crumbling means broken walls. Holes means slums. So they pass through by homes, remain holes with broken walls. Wobbly doors. Wobbly doors means weak doors. Whatever the homes comes, whatever the slums comes on the way, their walls, their doors were so weak. It can be broken in any minutes. It seems like to writer. No windows, crowded with families of humans and animals coexisting in the primeval states. Primeval means ancient time of people, how they live. They live together with animal and human are living together in the same place. A primitive type of persons who live together. There is no any. They don't feel that the human and animal should live together. Such type of things they never think. They think together. But now as modernization is there, development in the thought, now we are living separate from the animals, but they are compelled to live together, who animals as well as humans. She saw through the windows. He stops at the door of one such house. So finally we had come to his house, bang a wobbly iron door with his foot. So what he did, he just banged, he just kicked his leg to the door, which is also weak, which is built of iron. As and pushes it open, we enter a half-built shack. Shack means slum, which was half built. In one part of it, that's with the dead grass, and on the roof, that means on the roof there were dry grass. The roof was covered by the dry grass. Is a firewood stove over which sits a large vessels of sizzling pinches leaves. Now here, what I saw, first I saw the roof, and second I saw that there was a stove, a fire stove. A stove is there, which is run by the firewoods, and on this stove there is a big vessel. Vessel means a kind of a utensils, in which sizzling pinches leaves. There was sizzling is a kind of a sound of frying something on the fry pan. Something is frying, something is going to be cooked on the fry pan. So here sizzling is a sound of a fry pan. Of spinach leaves. Spinach means, my dear students, a green leaves that we call it palak. So these kind of vegetable is going to be prepared on this stove. On the ground, a large aluminium platter, also a big utensil was there, are more chopped vegetables, and which is there some more vegetables were chopped, be cuts into pieces. If frail young woman is cooking the evening meal for the whole family. Frail means a very weak, thin, a weak a weak young woman is cooking the evening meal for the whole family. Through eyes filled with smoke, she smiled. As we all see, like the writer as well as the young lady who was working near the stove, who was just preparing the evening meal, she was under the full of smoke everywhere. The fog was there of coming through the stove, and her eyes were filled with smoke, and she gave me a smile. She is the wife of Mukesh elder's brother. Who was this lady? She was the wife of Mukesh's elder brother. Not much older in years, she has begun to command respect as a bahu. And now what she is working? She is working now in the house as a bahu. She got this respect. The daughter-in-law of the house, already in charge of 3 men. There were 3 men. She was working for them. Even she is cooking for them, cleaning the house, doing all the household's work. Her husband, Mukesh, and their father. So there were 3 men as well as the women were also there. But here we are talking about the men. So three men were there. Mukesh's elder brother, and their father. When the older man enters, whenever any older man, that the grandfather, sorry, the father-in-law of this lady, when he enters, the father of Mukesh, whenever he enters in the house, she gently withdrawn behind the broken wall. She came just behind the broken wall. There were some separations, like a wall, a handmade separations by putting the bricks and make a little bit separation. It work as a room, a private property, a private room for the couples where they can live, as it is very hard to live to stay openly in the whole family, so it requires a privacy. So there is a broken wall is there. So when the father-in-law enter in the house in this slum, she speedily went behind the broken wall. Why? And bring her veil closer to her face. What is mean of this word veil? Veil is very important word. Veil is a kind of a gungat, a piece of curtain which is attached to her sari. That whenever any elder person enter, it is a respect to cover the face. Actually, in our Hindu traditions, especially daughter-in-laws are not allowed to converse with the father-in-law. Don't interfere in the conversation of father-in-law talking to someone else. Even she remain introverts in terms of front of father-in-law. So it is just pay respect. And so paying the respect towards the father-in-law, but unfortunate in the second line, that you would see that this is little bit awkward for hearing this, that uh, as custom demands, daughter-in-law must veil their face before male elders. In this case, the elder means that man elder. Main elder means the father-in-law. The main elder is an impoverished bangle maker. Impoverished means a poor person who was so poor, who was a bangle maker. Despite long years of hard labor, first as a tailor, then a bangle maker, he has failed to renovate a house, send his two sons to school. All he has managed to do to teach them what he knows, the art of making bangles. So here the writer is saying actually when he come across by the critical condition of this family, that she came to know that the main person, the main owner of the house, was not able to renovate the house. Whether he had worked a long period of time, he had done a lot of hard work, but whatever they do such type of hard work, but the worth they get in returns was very low amount of money, where they can hardly sustain their livelihood, where they can where they can very hardly spend their some personal expenses like their grocery works. So they can easily manage such type of things. They even cannot save the money because their source of income is so less, and hard work is too hard, and the risk of the life is high. So he told the writer that first he was a tailor, and then he was came in the field of bangle making, and he was so fortunate, he was so sad that he couldn't get education, he couldn't give education to his children's, Mukesh and his elder brother. And what he can teach them, he can only teach them the art of skill which he knew how to make a bangle. As such type of skill he only gave it to his children's. So that is the thing. It is his karma, his destiny. Say Mukesh's grandmother, who has watched her own husband go blind with the dust from polishing the glass of bangles. So now here, then suddenly the grandmother initiative in this conversation, what she said, that it is his karma, that it is his destiny. In our Hindi we say karma or destiny, same, that it is his karma, that whatever he had done the work in his past, now he is getting the fruit of from this work. So the grandmother, what she had watched her own husband got blind due to the smoke, due to the dust while they do polish on the bangles, so glass of bangles. So she had seen a such type of tragedy in her life, that her own husband got blind, not able to see, not able to because without eyes everything is dark. Can a God given lineage ever be broken? My dear students, lineage means the God Ah, traditions of the family. That this is our traditions. Has God given us these traditions? This lineage ever be broken? So who will break this? God will. The God will broke. The God will break this traditions, this custom that we are took the we took the birth in the family of bangle making, and it's our heritage, it's our duty, it's our custom to pursue this business. This is our mistake, the God mistake. Whose mistake is this? That which we are enforced, we are bounded in these traditions. C. Impiles concluded, born in the caste of bangle makers, they have seen nothing but bangles. So if a person take birth, if a girl or if a boy took a birth in the family of bangle making, then what he had to see in his future? Nothing except bangles. Where are the bangles? Bangles are in the house, in the yard, in every other house, every other yard, every streets in Fuzabad. Everywhere there were bangles and bangles. Spirals of bangles means there are a kind of a coils. The bangles are in coils, bangles are in stakes. Everywhere the stakes of bangles are lying in front of people's house. And what type of bangles? Bangles of sunny gold, pedigree, royal blue, pink, purple, every color born out of the 7 colors of the rainbow. So these are the colors which we make generally. Line in mounds of unkempt yard. Like here, the meaning of this, that lies the stack molds here. Molds, the steak. Steak, we can say the high quantity of the stuff that they were applied in the stack. And also in unkempt yard. Unkempt means dirty, untidy. Are pilled on four-wheeled handcrafts, and they are kept where? In a cart which has four wheels, which is dragged by the people, dragged by the person who sell them out and going each and every streets to the family members of a particular house, especially females. Females generally buy them for themselves to feel or to see themselves look beautiful. So this is a kind of a piece of ornaments which increase the beauty of a person, especially women. Pushed by a young man along the narrow lanes of the shanty town, slummy town, that person pushed this cart very hardly and took this cart through the different section of the streets of the town, which are so small streets. And in dark hutments in the slums area, next to lines of flames of flickering oil lamps, sit boys and girls with their fathers and mothers. So this is the day work of the specially boys, and in the night time what they do, they just spend their time while giving or extending a helping hand in the business of their parents, that they start working how to build the bangles. They just work, they spend their whole night in the light of oil lamp. There is no, as I have told you, I have already earlier mentioned you that there is no lighting facility, so they just work under the light lamp to give a proper direction, giving embroidered on the bangles, so that it looks so designful, it looks so pretty while they are selling, so they can have a good quality of money. Next, sit boys and girls with their fathers and mothers welding pieces of colored glass into circles of bangles. Their eyes are most adjust to the dark than the light outside. So here the writer is saying very what could you say, very important line, that they are become so habitual to work in the dark as compared to in light. That they have been working for a very long period of time, working under the darkness, because the fireplace required a room which is totally covered. None of air could pass from outside and inside, so it requires that there is no blow of air, that the work, the shape they want to give to the glass